magical Christmas Eve adventure. Once upon a time, in the middle of a snowy forest, there was a cheerful little squirrel named Sammy. Sammy lived in a cozy treehouse high up in an old oak tree. It had a little chimney that puffed out tiny clouds of smoke in the cold winter air, and twinkling fairy lights hung all around its branches. Sammy loved winter, but what he loved most was Christmas. Every year, he decorated his treehouse, baked acorn cookies, and invited all his friends for a special Christmas Eve celebration. This year was no different, except Sammy had a feeling something extra magical might happen. The morning of Christmas Eve, Sammy scurried out into the snow to gather decorations. He found shiny red berries, sparkling icicles, and even a perfect pine cone to hang at the top of his Christmas tree. "This year, our tree will be the best it's ever been," Sammy said to himself. As the sun began to set, Sammy hurried home to prepare. His friends arrived one by one, their paws crunching in the fresh snow. Benny the bunny brought a basket of sweet carrot muffins, Penny the fox carried a string of golden leaves, and Lulu the owl flew in with a bag of cinnamon sticks to make the treehouse smell like Christmas. "Let's start decorating," Sammy squeaked excitedly. Together, they worked to transform the little treehouse into a winter wonderland. They hung the berries and leaves, draped the icicles like tinsel, and popped corn to make a garland. Lulu carefully flew up to place the golden pine cone on top. When they were done, the tree glowed beautifully in the warm light of the lanterns. "Now for the best part," said Sammy. He placed a stack of presents under the tree, each one wrapped with love. "These are for you," he told his friends. Benny, Penny, and Lulu were thrilled and promised not to peek until morning. As the friends settled by the fireplace, they began sharing stories about Christmas. Benny talked about the time he found a giant snow carrot, Penny laughed about slipping into a snowdrift, and Lulu described how she once helped deliver a lost letter to Santa Claus. The warm crackling of the fire and the smell of cinnamon filled the air, making the moment feel magical. But just as Lulu finished her story, a faint sound reached their ears. It was a soft jingling, like tiny bells in the distance. "Do you hear that?" Penny whispered, her sharp ears twitching. The friends ran to the window and gasped. Across the sky, under a blanket of stars, they saw a sleigh pulled by reindeer, its golden sleigh bells jingling merrily. Riding in the sleigh was none other than Santa Claus himself. With his big red suit and fluffy white beard, the sleigh landed gently in the clearing outside the treehouse. Santa climbed out, carrying his magical sack, which shimmered with light. "Ho, ho, ho!" Santa called with a deep, jolly laugh. "Merry Christmas, my dear friends!" Sammy and his friends stood frozen in awe. Santa walked over to them and reached into his sack. "I have something special for each of you," he said, handing out gifts. Benny received a cozy scarf, Penny got a golden bell that jingled sweetly, Lulu was given a beautiful book of bedtime stories, and Sammy's gift was a snow globe with a miniature Christmas tree inside. When he shook it, tiny sparkles swirled like a blizzard. Santa smiled warmly. "You've shown the true spirit of Christmas tonight, sharing, caring, and celebrating with those you love. That's what makes this season magical." "Thank you, Santa," the friends said together. Santa gave a final wave, climbed back into his sleigh, and with a whoosh, he and his reindeer disappeared into the starry night. The friends returned to the treehouse, still glowing with excitement. "This was the best Christmas Eve ever," Sammy said, hugging his snow globe tightly. They sat by the fire, sipping hot cocoa and listening to the wind whisper through the trees. Outside, the forest was silent and peaceful, as if it too was resting under a blanket of Christmas magic. and as the fire crackled softly, one by one, Sammy and his friends drifted off to sleep, their dreams filled with twinkling lights, sleigh bells, and the joy of being together on a magical Christmas Eve. Now, close your eyes and imagine your own Christmas adventure under the stars. Remember, with a little courage and the power of friendship, anything is possible. Sweet dreams!